You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this is all a publicity stunt. And what I'm talking about is the next big name, or at least big in the geekdom sphere, name to be attached to the next Star Wars movie, supposedly after Mandalorian and Grogu. It's Matt Smith, the Doctor Who that a lot of people say is their favorite version of Doctor Who outside of Capaldi. Yeah, he's coming into this as well. Now, this is just an announcement, but there's a lot of things that I have to say about it. Star Wars Starfighter enlists Matt Smith in the villain role after previously being eyed for Rise of Skywalker. Well, according to Matt Smith, they actually filmed him in Rise of Skywalker and it was left on the cutting room floor. Smith joins Ryan Gosling in Sean Levy's feature. Now, I have done videos about this. I think the Sean Levy feature actually will come out because this is the guy who is fresh and hot off the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. But good gracious, all the people that they are like attaching to this, I don't think they're going to be able to afford it, to be quite honest, because Star Wars is all but dead at this point. So putting Ryan Gosling in there, you got Mia Goth signed out. Now you have Matt Smith that is just now supposedly signed on, but apparently it's official. The House of the Dragon Star, the Doctor Who that everyone loves, who at one point was eyed to appear in The Rise of Skywalker, has been tapped to join it. And the Hollywood Reporter has confirmed it. Lucasfilm couldn't be reached for comment because Kathleen Kennedy's not going to say anything. I really think there's a high probability that she's just playing this out just to drum up interest, to justify the budgets or the money laundering that Disney's going to have to spend on this. You have big actors, you have respected actors, but Ryan Gosling, Mia Goth, Matt Smith, who else are they going to get for this? You have your hero, you have your villain, and they're both big named actors. They will be demanding as much money as they want, whether or not they love the old Star Wars universe before it was completely to hell. Whether or not they loved that back then, they are going to demand money because they are hot commodities and in demand. This is one of multiple villain roles with Levy still looking to cast a female antagonist that at one point had Mikey Madison. Now, I thought Mia Goth was signed on for this and she was going to play the female antagonist. However, she could be like one of Ryan Gosling's love interests. We don't know much about the story at this point, but we do have a little bit of stuff that we can go back into in 2018 where Matt Smith was reported to be joining Rise of Skywalker. Thank good gracious that hadn't happened. That role did not come to fruition. It was left on the cutting room floor. And when asked about it, he said he was going to play a young Palpatine. Thank God it did not come to fruition. As if that movie was not a dumpster fire in and of itself. That would have been even worse. Although it might have been better than somehow Palpatine returned. But then again, you made Ray. Anyway, we're not going to go off into that because that's just going to make my brain hurt. It was a pretty groovy thing, is what he said when asked about it. It was a really groovy part and concept. It was a big thing. It was a big story detail, a transformative Star Wars story detail. Now, this is just him being a good PR person. It never quite got over the line. That's just him being good at PR and not trying to ruffle feathers. Maybe it was entertaining or like at least something that could have been exciting way back then. But after Rian Johnson screwed up The Last Jedi and J.J. Abrams, who didn't have a plan in the first place, tried to pick up the pieces while still throwing shade at Rian Johnson in The Rise of Skywalker, it was a complete clusterfuck by the end of it. And there was just no saving it. It didn't matter what you had. Mystery boxes, MacGuffins, and the like. But if he's coming out into this iteration of a Star Wars tale that's set 5 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker, hopefully it's just like one of those things it's in the Star Wars universe, but it's not connected to the major players because the major players don't have a box office draw. If you see Rey Skywalker, or like what's her name, Daisy Ridley, if you see that she's on the casting sheet, don't watch this movie. They're going to try to shoehorn it all in when it should just be its own separate story, in my opinion. If it has any chance of making a little splash about bringing people back to Star Wars in any way whatsoever, you got to keep all of that crap out of the way. I'm talking about John Boyega too, all of them. Oscar Isaac. everyone from the Disney sequel trilogy that completely tanked the brand, plus Disney Plus, keep it out. Let Sean Levy do his own thing. That's the only chance that it has. If you guys have anything to say, leave it down in the comment section below. Malcolm, what do you guys think? I don't know. I still think it's a ploy from Kathleen Kennedy and like people at Disney. I still think it's a ploy just to garner interest. They're not actually going to sign any contracts. They still don't have a script. I don't think it's going to come out. It's scheduled for 2027. I don't think it's going to come out for like at least another 3 or 4 years, if it comes out, period. But we'll see. We'll see. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.